To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, His Excellency Ambassador Mohamed Hegazy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon to you, Aman.
Well, Your Excellency, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, on the behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, is attending the TCAD conference. How did you follow this and follow the address by the Prime Minister on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi before the conference?
It is a very important participation, reflects Egypt's adherence to the TCAD process, which is the Tokyo International Conference for African Development. The TCAD summit has contributed since its establishment in the well-being of the relations between Japan and Africa. And the ninth round comes in a very critical time for the world order, where multilateralism is facing challenge from the protectionism and the political use of the economic tools to further change the international trade and economic dimensions. And of course, Africa fall in the middle of this international development very fast indeed. And Africa is trying to put its economy on digital platforms within the community of nations. And TCAD is one of the tools that Egypt has always looked at as a support to Africa, a way of dialoguing with our international partners. On top of them always come Japan, but we still have partners with many other world powers. We have Africa, China, the COVAX. We have also with the United States, we have France, and every nation almost have a platform. UK, Germany, Korea, Turkey, and Egypt in particular has been vocal on behalf of Africa in all international forums where the TCAD come among the most important. For that, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli have participated in the TCAD, and he addressed today the session held in the Peace and Security Affairs, and in Yokohama he addressed the summit attendees, being the President, Prime Minister, as well as international institutions, where he refers to many issues pertaining to the poverty, unemployment, and the value chain, the food value chain, and the water security. And he emphasized the role of the partners to the continent. On top of them is Japan, and he referred also to the important role Egypt is playing, as you know. And you maybe have mentioned the Aswan Forum on the 5th of edition, where in October, where most of the African issues are brought to discussions in peace and security and development. Egypt also has shed light, or the Prime Minister shed light of the important efforts regarding peace in Sudan, Eastern Congo, the Sahel, and in Somalia. As you know, Egypt is part of OSO, which is the African Union stabilizing force in Somalia. And he called definitely to enhancing investment and trade with Africa. The TCAD came in a moment where a lot of political and economic issues pertaining also to peace and security
yes, sir.
In the continent, where a dialogue was necessary with different African leaders as well as the Japanese officials, including the governor of Tokyo.
Yes, Your Excellency, Ambassador Hegazy, the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli also witnessed the signing of memos of understanding, memorandum of understandings between Egypt and Japan in green hydrogen, especially in the Suez Canal economic zone, and also memos of understanding and agreements in the field of education, technical education, and students with disabilities or students, people with determination. How did you follow the signing of these important agreements with the government of Japan?
The bilateral part of the visit is so notable and very important, where, as you know, he discussed with the governor of Tokyo and the rest of Japanese officials and business leaders the very important role played by the Japanese school initiative and the exchange of students as well as the training of our teachers in Japan. And he raised also and discussed the small and medium enterprises as well as the youth projects in entrepreneurship, and also he emphasized the role of Japan in Egypt's transport sector, which is very important, as well as discussing the cultural affinity between the two countries. As we speak, there is an important cultural event happening, which is the expose of Ramses II, the great pharaoh that is now in display in Tokyo till September, means that also Japan can be also recalled for its very important role in constructing the Egyptian Grand Museum, as well as historical role also in building the Egyptian Opera House. We can also identify what you have said, Amal, about the two memorandum of understanding in the field of economic cooperation as well as education, where Egypt and Japan have played a very important role in bringing the two countries together in the cultural and the educational, transport, economic field. It's an important relation based on mutual respect and beneficial for both people. And I'm sure that Japan, with its credible role and respect it enjoys in Africa, will remain always an integral part of Africa's future optimistic perspective.
Yes, Your Excellency, Ambassador Hegazy, also the conference is discussing the free trade deals between Japan and the African nations, as well as the loan guarantees and investment in incentives from a number of famous Japanese firms in the continent. Could you shed more light on this important point, please?
Indeed, the Japanese viewpoint towards Africa is a recognition of Africa as a future opportunity for business and investment. Japan knows that and work hard with Africa to attain this goal. There is definitely three pillars of the TICAD agenda that reflect Japan adherence to the future of Africa. The three pillars are the society, the economy, peace and security. So Japan understands that the people, which is society, the people are so important, and Africa is the continent of youth with a ratio of 25 years old. And it has all the elements for better economy, and that's why the second pillar was economy. The third and most important, which avail the circumstances for a better future, which is peace and security. Those three pillars is the TICAD agenda for 2025. Also, that Japan has hosted at the periphery of the TICAD an exhibition for small and medium enterprises where innovation has been introduced in different fields, in medicine, in healthcare, in food security, in environmental solutions, in developing, which is very important, the skills for the future. We have to improve our curriculum to meet the new changes and the work market that has changed dramatically, and with the new digital transformation we have in Africa to attain the progress achieved in Japan and other places, even to ask for help, as Africa is working with the development of the AI technologies and knowledge in improving its economy, and in working with partners like Japan to attain all what the continent can achieve with the help of international partners, being it states or companies, in the era of the digital economy. And Egypt definitely is calling always for the integration of the African economy in the world's digital economy as well.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Hegazy, also the important sideline meetings by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on the sideline of the conference with the Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo and other meetings that he held on the sideline. Would like to shed more light on this.
Summits like the TICAD and other platforms is an opportunity to help political groups to exchange views. Particularly, Mr. Madbouli is coming from a region where many issues are evolving and exchanging also our views in relations to African issues, where, for example, the Eastern Congo peace deal was also supported by Egypt, and we played a role in communicating between President Tshisekedi and President Kagame. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi himself ran many talks and calls on the two presidents to accept the initiative that has been sponsored by President Trump and the United States, signed in the White House recently, and this was another follow-up meeting with the Prime Minister of Congo. The chairman of the African Union is key, particularly Prime Minister Madbouli gave him a brief on what is happening in Gaza and the role Africa can play in supporting the Palestinian people. Egypt's efforts with the government of Sudan to re-stabilize the situation, and the support of a dialogue that Egypt always calls for. And I think after this very important meeting comes also the meeting with the governor of Tokyo. We are in Tokyo. The TICAD is Tokyo conference, a conference that requires also working on the bilateral agenda with the Japanese counterpart. So his meeting with the government of Tokyo was significant, and I think the discussion went to many aspects of future cooperation. As you mentioned, the memorandum on the green hydrogen and the economic cooperation, as well as cooperation in the field of transport was very important. Yes. In the education aspect, being the Japanese schools exchange of students, as well as the training of Egyptian teachers in Japan.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Hegazy, the most important thing for Egypt is the water. the Nile River, the Nile Basin. So give us an idea about the discussions that took place concerning the latest developments concerning Egypt's right in the Nile Basin and the Nile Basin countries, and its contribution also to building certain dams, but without decreasing the right of Egypt in the Nile water. Give us an idea about this, please.
In all our international presence and talks with world leaders, we clearly emphasize the importance of the stability of the Nile Basin and the Eastern African region, being one of the world's most strategic region connected to the Red Sea security, the Gulf security, and so on. Egypt's story lies in the fact that there is a historical right that has to be respected. Every country has the right to develop its resources without harming the others. And for that, in reference to the Ethiopian dam, Egypt is fully supporting the idea of Ethiopia developing its resources, but not on the expense because of Egypt and Sudan, because this is the livelihood of 120 million people, while
Yes.
there is 1,600 billion cubic meters full of rain on the upstream countries in the down reaches. Egypt lies in the most dry regions in the world, where only the Nile is the lifeline. So a respect to Egypt's historical rights, a respect to international norms and laws is very fundamental to create an atmosphere of stability. And as you follow Amal, this discussion with me always, I am calling for an integrated approach to the development of the Nile Basin, as it is the trend internationally that the river is a living organ. The river is an ecosystem that has to be developed in an integrated manner. For that, Egypt suggested to the Ethiopians the integration of our water policy. For that, security will not be considered on a national level, but on a regional level.
Yes.
Water security has to be given to all.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Your Excellency, Ambassador Mohamed Hegazy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much. I really had the honor to have this phone with you. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you to continue our coverage.